This is the easy-to-understand tutorial Texas Hold'em in less than 5 minutes. The objective on this game is to create the best 5 cards poker hands possible using any combination of a player's 2 hole cards and 5 community cards. Here's a quick breakdown of the hand ranking from lowest to highest. The lowest rank hand has no pairs and is called high card. It is then followed by a pair, which is 2 cards of the same rank. After that is a 2 pair, 2 cards of a matching rank, another 2 cards of a different matching rank, and 1-sided card. Then comes 3 of a kind at the end. Players can beat any of these hands by macking a straight, which is composed of 5 sequential cards that do not have the same suit. Next is the flush. Flush is even stronger than a straight and is made by any 5 cards that have an identical suit. The next stronger hand is a full house and is formed by 3 of a kind plus a pair. The highest and least common hand strength in Texas Hold'em are 4 of a kind, straight flush, and royal flush respectively. Each game starts in clockwise direction of the dealer. Directly to the left of the dealer are 2 forced bets known as the small blind and the big blind. Blinds are primarily made by 2 players before cards are dealt. For the purpose of the stimulating action prior to cards being distributed, the player to the left of the button, called the small blind, puts in chips equal to half the size of the minimum bet for the game. The player to that player's left, or the big blind, puts in double the amount of the small blind and is also the minimum bet. The players are dealt 2 cards one at a time, starting with the small blind position. These 2 cards are known as hole cards. Once the hole cards are dealt, the first betting round, called pre-flop, begins and players make the first decision on whether or not to play their hand. The first round of betting takes place after all hole cards have been dealt to each player. The first player to act is the player to the left of the big blind, and this player then has 3 options. Call, match the amount of the big blind. Raise, increase the bet within specific limits of the game. Fold, throw one's hand away. If the player chooses to fold, he or she is no longer eligible to win the current hand. The players who follow have the same 3 options: call, raise, or fold. Once the pre-flop betting round is complete, the dealer reveals 3 cards face up at the center of the table known as the flop. The flop consists of 3 community cards that all players can use in combination with the hole cards. After the flop is dealt, the post-flop round betting begins. In this betting round and all that follows from now on, action starts with the first active player to the left of the button. Along with the options to bet, call, fold, and raise, a player now has the option to check if no betting action has occurred prior. A check simply to pass the action to the next player in the hand. The 4th community card, called the turn, is dealt face up following all betting action on the flop. Once this has been completed, another round of betting occurs. Similar to that on the previous street of play, again players have the options to bet, call, fold, raise, and check. The 5th community card, called the river, is dealt face up following all betting action on the turn. Once this has been completed, another round of betting occurs similar to that on the previous street of play. After all betting action has been completed, the remaining players in the hand with hole cards now expose their holdings to determine a winner. This is called a showdown. The remaining players open their hole cards. The player with the best combination of 5 cards will win the pot. Are you ready to play poker?